officials. The Natural Resources Defense Council says Marquette Park in Gary got 3 out of 5 stars on their efforts to address the water quality issue. They were most improved in the state. The Testing the Waters report looked at the rate and causes of beach closures, the frequency of water quality tests, and levels of bacteria in water tests provided in 2012. It covers 33 Lake Michigan beaches in Indiana. 10 of them are monitored every day. 15 are monitored every 3 to 5 days, and 8 at Indiana Dunes are monitored once a week. Meanwhile, now that swim season is in full swing, the Department of Natural Resources is encouraging water safety. They say parents should remind their kids to never go near water unless an adult's with them, and kids should always wear flotation devices. So far this year, there have been 28 open water drownings. That does not include community pools or apartment complexes. Police are cracking down on parents who don't properly restrain their kids in car seats. Indiana State Police say last year they wrote 3,238 tickets, but they're on track to see a 20% decline this year. Officials say public education and increased police presence are producing the positive results. The parents of missing IU student Lauren Spear are suing the 3 men they think are responsible for her disappearance. Case filed by Robert and Charlene Spear moved to federal court last week. According to the lawsuit, Corey Rossman, Jason Rosenbaum, and Michael Beth knew Lauren was drunk but kept giving her alcohol, which was the proximate cause of her disappearance, injury, and death. Military veterans suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder are twice as likely to develop heart disease than vets not afflicted with it. National Institute of Health Studies says it provides further evidence that PTSD can affect physical health. After a year-long hiatus, Larry Bird's coming back to the Indiana Pacers. Team says he'll take over as president of basketball operations, same position he held from 2003 to 2012. I'm Veronica Carter on the Voice of the Region, WJOB.
Welcome to Sports JaM!
Everybody get up, it's time for sports now.
We got a real show going down.
Welcome to the Sports JaM.
So it's your chance, talk and rant.
It's the Sports JaM.
All right.
Cut.
Hey man, you can't get any better than that.
All right, welcome to the Sports JaM, AM 1230. WJOB. I am Mike Zajac.
I'm Joe Rourke.
And I'm Sam Spita.
Couple interns here at the station doing our show. Before we begin, we got some traffic to give you. Eastbound 8094 is backed up for about 3 to 4 miles from the toll road to State Route 49 in Chesterton. A man's camper tipped over, I guess. So he's out there picking up all his belongings right now.
Wow.
So avoid that area if you can. If you want, get out and help him, I guess. Be a nice person and help him out. And we're going to get started with the NBA draft tonight. The Bulls have the 20th pick. What are they looking for, Sam?
Well, they're looking for a guard. We know they have the point guard spot locked up with Derrick Rose.
Right.
And they have their future small forward in Jimmy Butler. So they're looking to solidify that shooting guard spot. Now, they're looking at a couple people in mind. They could look at Tim Hardaway Jr. from Michigan. They could look at Jamal Franklin, who's a good penetrating guard. They can look at Alan Crabb from California. Or they can look at Reggie Bullock out of North Carolina. What do you think about those options?
I like those options. For me, I want a big guy. I want a center. I like Carlos Boozer down there. I like Noah. But I want a center. I want Jeff Withey of Kansas.
7-footer.
7 foot, 222 pound. He's a great defender, great rebounder. I think he'd be a huge help for them.
Because you got to look at Boozer. You got to try to get his contract ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
So if they could try to, have someone take his contract, they could get another big man in there.
Right.
Plus, he plays no defense either. So.
Right. Gorgie Jang of Louisville. I think could be a very good pick for them. Possibly a trade to the 3rd pick.
Yes, they would trade Luol Deng to the Wizards. This is what's been discussed. And they would get Emeka Okafor. Because basically the Wizards want the Bulls to eat his contract. Because he's making $13.5 million a year. And they would also get the 3rd pick in the draft. Where they would look to select, in my opinion, Oladipo out of Indiana.
Yeah,
Oladipo.
All right. Yeah, Victor Oladipo. I'm an Indiana fan. I love Oladipo. I love watching him throughout his college career, and I think that would be a great pick. If available, and which I don't think he will be, Ben McLemore, probably the best shooter in the draft. I think he could really help out Mr. Rose there.
Speaking of Oladipo, so I don't know if you ever saw this video on YouTube, but he entered the IU talent show a few years ago. I think it was when he was a freshman.
Right.
And he did Usher's, I think it was Let It Burn, maybe. It was some Usher song, and he absolutely killed it. He sounded exactly like Usher.
He's an All-American. He can do it
crazy.
all.
Apparently he could do it all.
He can do it all.
Gotta check it out.
Sam, who's your first pick of the draft?
Well, I have Nerlens Noel, the center from Kentucky who got injured
Right.
middle of the season.
That ACL injury.
His ACL, as my friends like to say, his ACLs are glass.
Yeah.
So basically, I don't know, he's very talented, and they say he could be an incredible talent, but do you take a risk with that kind of injury that could possibly he could turn into a Greg Oden where his career would be in shambles?
Right.
That's a question mark to me. Second, I have going to Orlando, Trey Burke, the point guard from Michigan.
Yep.
I think that to rebuild a program, it all starts at the point guard because they're kind of the general of the offense.
Right.
So, and he's very good at distributing to his teammates, and he's very smart. He's a very smart basketball player.
Plus, he was Player of the Year in college basketball last year.
So I think he could really, start. At least they could build around him, around his leadership. And I think Otto Porter Jr. out of Georgetown, the small forward, would go to Washington because I think he's a dynamic scorer, and I think he could bring some, some scoring and some tenacity to Washington.
Right.
They could build around him, and John Wall could have someone to pass to.
Looking at some of the mock drafts online that I saw, Fox Sports had the Bulls at the number 20 taking Jamal Franklin, 6'5", shooting guard out of San Diego State. Sports Illustrated had him taking Reggie Bullock, a 6'7", small forward from North Carolina, and CBS Sports had him taking Alan Crabb, a 6'6" shooting guard from Cal.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Alan Crabb on those mock drafts as well.
Now there's another option for the Bulls. They could trade away their 20th pick to the Rockets for Thomas Robinson. Thomas Robinson, he came out of Kansas last year. He got traded from the Kings to the Rockets. The Kings basically gave him away. So if they could get Thomas Robinson, they could solidify that power forward spot and try to get Boozer out of there. I like that option.
Yeah, I agree. Let's take a look at a couple Indiana guys from the Hoosiers. Other than Oladipo, Cody Zeller. I believe he's a top 10 pick, but I don't think he's going to do very well. I mean, we saw him during the season at Indiana. He's very soft.
He reminds me of like a Pau Gasol kind of in the post, just very soft. Even though Pau Gasol he just has a lot of finesse and post moves, and so he gets away with it. But I don't think Cody Zeller got manhandled by the number 2 on the depth chart center and from Minnesota.
Trevor Mbakwe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched that game, and I'm thinking to myself, this doesn't look like an NBA center to me.
Mbakwe is a man amongst boys.
But
He's a beast.
If you think about it, all the centers in the NBA are way more
I
beastly.
agree. He's got a lot of work to do.
He does.
With his game.
I think he could be groomed, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I would have liked to see him go back to Indiana for a year or two.
I would have just to toughen up. I mean, he's got the talent. He's got the speed. He can run the court. He can dribble for a big man. He's got the moves, but defensively,
I also agree with that aspect.
I mean, he just seems so soft. His rebounding abilities, they're not up to par.
When you flash those greens, though, in front of those youngsters, they come running, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And
Lottery pick.
And anyone who wants to jump in on the conversation with who they think the Bulls should pick or if they should trade their pick, you can call us at 845-1100. Sam will answer your call, and we'll try to get you through on the air with us.
Yeah, give us what you think about these region guys coming up next year. Maybe Mitch McGarry from Chesterton, Glenn Robinson from Lake Central. These guys are staying at Michigan. Staying at Michigan for their sophomore year.
Maybe even Adonis Filer from Clemson.
Maybe.
Dynamic scorer.
Absolutely. A couple of more Indiana guys. Christian Watford. He was
A miraculous shot from Kentucky.
He can hit the threes. Jordan Halls can shoot the rock as well. I don't think these guys are getting drafted. Christian Watford has a chance, I believe, but Jordan Halls, he might be picked up. If somebody needs a shooter, it's definitely him.
Could be like a J.J. Redick type for an offense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You need a spark plug, get a couple threes to change the momentum of game.
Right.
He could be that guy.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back from the break, we'll talk some Cubs and Sox and some local athletes. You are listening to the Sports Jam. I'm Joe Rourke. That's Mike Zajac in front of me. Sam Zapita over in the corner running the phone lines. If you want to call us, 845-1100. You are listening to Sports Jam on WJOB AM 1230.
Now open, Luby's Pancake House, located at 176th and Torrance Avenue in Lansing, 1 block south of the interstate. Also open for dinner. Come dine with us. We feature a full breakfast menu, burgers, sandwiches, ribs, steaks, stir-fries, dessert, and more. Open daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. You can also dine at Luby's in Hammond on the corner of 165th and Columbia in Menards Plaza. Luby's is the perfect spot for the whole family.
Railcats Baseball is back. This season's schedule is full of awesome giveaways, thrilling entertainment acts, and special themes. Tickets are only $5 to $10 and parking is always free. Save money with Railcats weekly specials. Kids eat free on Mondays, 2 for Tuesdays, Dollar Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, Firework Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, and the Times Family Sundays. Group discounts are available for tickets, party decks, suites, picnics, and more. Railcats Baseball, fun, affordable, family entertainment. Get your tickets at railcatsbaseball.com or call 219-882-2255. Railcats Baseball, entertaining the region.
Hello, I'm Roland Dickey from Dickey's Barbecue. Spring is the perfect time to throw a party. Graduations, reunions, office parties.
What about weddings?
Hey, any event, big or small, we do it all.
So much Dickey's Barbecue to eat, so little time. Nothing says party like slow-smoked barbecue.
That's right, Edna. If you've got a Dickey's Barbecue delivery buffet, then it's a party. And to find a Dickey's near you, go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue. Seriously, pit smoke.
Come visit the all-new Dickey's Barbecue, located at 8359 Indianapolis Boulevard in Highland. Call 923-5776. Dickey's Barbecue, where kids eat free on Sundays.
Welcome back to the Sports Jam. Mike Zajac, Joe O'Rourke, Sam Zapita, a couple region guys here interning at WJOB. Got a announcement here. Blood drive today, Wicker Park Clubhouse, all day until 6:30 p.m. tonight. Donate your blood. There's some giveaways. Blood is needed there. So get out there. Good cause. Donate some blood.
Yeah, and to the caller who just called during the break, I don't know if we lost you or what happened, but feel free to call back in. We could talk Hawks or whatever you're interested in. Just give Sam your name. He'll write it down, and we'll get you on the air. All right, so let's talk that. By the way, the number is 845-1100. So the Cubs yesterday beat the Brewers 5-4. Scott Feldman moved to 7-6 on the season. He pitched 6 innings, 3 earned runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. His ERA is now at 3.46, which is much better than they were expecting when they picked up Feldman, I think. Kevin Gregg, not a very smooth save, but he got the job done. He
had some drama in the ninth.
Yeah, a little drama. No Gordon Beckham tackling of the third baseman, but he gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run on a home run, a solo shot. And Ryan Sweeney hit his 4th home run of the season, still having a real good year. Brian Bogusevic, who just got called up, went 2 for 4 in his debut with a walk and a stolen base.
More productive than Marmol already.
Absolutely. And Starlin Castro, 2 hits, those 2 days off in a row.
There you go.
And the Cubs right now lead the Brewers 6-0 at the top of the third.
Wow, 6-0.
Yep.
All right. Well, the Sox lost 3-0 to the Brewers. Still going for that number 1 spot.
Mm-hmm.
Danks pitched actually real well. 7 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run. He actually allowed 3 runs, but 2 of them were unearned because of an error. No walks and 7 strikeouts. The now 1-9 Sean Markham pitched pretty good yesterday. 8 innings pitched, only 4 hits allowed, no runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. It's pretty bad when an 0-9 pitcher just blanks you.
Right.
That's embarrassing.
Yep.
Alexi Ramirez got 2 of the 4 hits. He also got his 18th stolen base. He's leading the team in stolen bases, which is kind of weird. He's on pace for about 36 stolen bases, which is way high for him. Usually he's in the 20s. And you'd think that Alejandro Diaz would be leading the team, but he's not. He's just not having a good year at all. I'm so ready for him to be gone. Alexi also committed his 13th error, so watch your back, Castro.
What's with these shortstops in Chicago?
Right?
Pretty terrible.
14 errors, right, for Castro?
Yep.
13 now for Alexi. Man, what is going on? The Sox now have more errors this season at this point than they did all of last year.
Wow.
They had only 30 last year. They were one of the best teams defensively last year, and now they are one of the worst. I think they have 34 now, which is horrendous. My boy Brent Morel got called up, and he went 1 for 3 in his season debut. He was in Charlotte all year. He lost his job to Connor Gillespie out of spring training, and then Gillespie is right now out on paternity leave. So Brent Morel getting a few games in there. I think that's what that means. I think that's what that means.
He's having a kid, or his wife's having a kid?
I believe his wife will probably be actually having it. He's there for moral support.
Just making sure.
He's there for morale support.
Okay.
Ooh. Get it?
I see what you did there.
So clever.
Nice.
So, as a Sox fan, do you regret not signing AJ? Because I was watching the Yankees game last night, and he looked pretty good.
No. Only because he wouldn't. If we had AJ on this team, it wouldn't be the opposite story. We wouldn't have turned this team around.
Yeah, it's not really a future move.
I mean, yeah, Flowers is obviously terrible, and if AJ was in there, he'd be doing better. But there's other guys who are doing awful, to where having AJ wouldn't have really changed much. We'd have maybe 3 more wins right now, 4 more wins.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. I mean, at the time, I wanted AJ back, but now there's no point. So
I agree.
I'm ready for Josh Fegley, guy out of Indiana State. Indiana State or IU? I can't remember. One of the two. He's definitely an Indiana boy, and he's in AAA just tearing it up. I think he's hitting around 328 last time I saw. Got like 14 bombs. He's just killing it in AAA, so I'm waiting for them to finally call him up and give him a shot, because Tyler Flowers' era, I think, is over. I'm just not looking forward to more Flowers in the future.
Tired of him already?
Yep. I am. I really am.
Really?
He looks like he has no clue at the plate.
He's not producing right now.
Right, no clue. So you got any region news for us, or something about Spike Albrecht?
Spike Albrecht. He was in the paper today. He's a 2011 Crown Point graduate. He is just finished up his freshman year at Michigan, basketball player. And during the season last year, he shot 1.6. He averaged 1.6 points a game. He comes into this national championship game against Louisville and drops 17 in the first half, 4 of 5 from three-point land. If you want to check out this story, Steve Hanlon, NorthwestIndianaTimes.com. Talk to him about getting an opportunity to play. And when that opportunity comes, he shined. And he went to Cal Ripken Little League, I believe. Talked to a couple kids there and said, when you get that chance, you make it count. I mean, you look at football players. I think of Matt Castle coming in for Tom Brady in New England.
Right.
You think of Kyle Orton coming in for Rex Grossman in 2005.
Didn't Steve Young come in for Joe Montana?
Yes.
Start his career.
Brady came in for Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, Brady for Drew Bledsoe. Yeah, it's definitely happened before.
Yeah, so kids, when you get that opportunity,
make the most of it.
Make the most of it, absolutely. Great story on Northwest Indiana Times. Check it out if you want to read more about Spike and what he's up to this summer. All right there. We are going to take a break right now. You are listening to the Sports Jam with the interns, Mike Zajac, Joe O'Rourke, Sam Sapito, WJOB.
If a tree fell in the woods, would you hear it? You sure would if it fell in your yard. Call Year-Round Tree Service before it's too late. Year-Round Tree Service is an experienced tree removal company. With over 15 years' experience, Year-Round Tree Service will professionally complete your job and leave you satisfied. Fully licensed and insured, Year-Round Tree Service does full tree removals, trims, and stump grinding. Schedule an appointment before May and receive 10% off your tree work. Call 708-323-6690 for a free estimate today. That's 708-323-6690. Year-Round Tree Service. Timber!
Whether you're facing a divorce or issues with child custody, child support, or visitation, you need an attorney you can trust to get you through this difficult time. This is attorney Alexis Vasquez-Diedlo, and I have the skill, experience, and understanding to handle all aspects of family law, from divorce to child custody, support, and visitation, to paternity, juvenile guardianships, and adoptions. Located at 8320 Kennedy Avenue in Highland, call me for a free consultation at 219-845-6000. That's 219-845-6000.
For the past 26 years, Joe Samara, owner of Eduardo's Natural Pizza Restaurants, has built a reputation for serving the finest Chicago-style stuffed pizza loaded with fresh and natural ingredients. Not interested in a stuffed pizza? Eduardo's has the best thin crust pizza, appetizers, salads, pastas, and sandwiches. Stop by the Munster location at 7920 Calumet Avenue. You can dine in or order out by calling 219-836-2010. That's 219-836-2010.
Welcome back, WJOB. Got some notes here. No Brian Bickle will be at the Charlie Horse on Tuesday, July 2nd. Some scheduling conflicts. So Brian Bickle will not be at the Charlie Horse in Munster on Tuesday. But Ray Emery will be at Bridges Scoreboard Wednesday from 7 to 8:30. Tickets are on sale right now, and they are limited, so hurry up and get those tickets.
Did you see Kaner on Letterman last night? And he said Boston's ice was the worst he's ever played on.
Yeah, he really did. And no surprise.
Yeah, I mean, we noticed it.
Yeah, we noticed, yeah.
It was pretty obvious the puck was bouncing everywhere.
He wasn't on there for very long.
On Letterman?
Yeah.
I actually only saw some highlights from the show. I didn't see the whole thing.
He was very quiet, blah, blah, blah. And
I heard he was kind of awkwardly funny.
Yes. He's not the most well-spoken person.
Right, yeah.
So.
Most hockey players aren't.
Yeah. Some other region news in wrestling. Got some amateur wrestlers out there, a couple region guys. Crown Point's four-time Indiana State champion Jason Surtsis secured a U.S. Junior World team spot for the 2013 Junior World Championships when he swept 2002 Cadet World Champion Zane Rutherford in the best-of-3 series for the 145.5-pound championship. That was on Sunday in Stillwater, Oklahoma. He won the first match 8-3 before recording an 8-0 first period technical fall in the second match. So congratulations to him. Also there, Angel Escobedo of Griffith and an Indiana University grad finished second in the 121-pound. Andrew Howe of Cedar Lake went to Hanover, finished fourth, but he was coming off an injury. Great job to those guys. Well done, well deserved. Good to hear about them. And we are moving on to
Headlines.
With
Sam.
Sammy Stepboy.
Well, it looks like the center for my favorite team, the Los Angeles Lakers, Dwight Howard, unlikely to re-sign. It looks like his best option will be the Houston Rockets. That's what he's setting his sights on if they will run the offense he likes. Now, Mike D'Antoni from Los Angeles did not run the offense that Dwight Howard liked, so therefore he did not perform up to his capabilities. We will see what he does in Houston. Tampa Bay Lightning buy out the contract of Vincent LeCavalier with 7 years left on his deal. Personal favorite from NHL 06, GameCube.
Yeah, and the Hawks are actively shopping Dave Boland around to the league right now, sources say. So people are speculating maybe if they get rid of Davey Boland, they could go and try and sign Vincent LeCavalier, who is a 33-year-old center who would look awesome on that second line. He spent his entire career with the Lightning after being the number 1 overall pick in 1998. And Dave Boland, all right, let's say this happens I almost said the Sox, in the Hawks trade Boland somewhere else, and they end up signing LeCavalier. Boland's career high in points was 47 back in his 08-09 season. LeCavalier, in every year that he's been completely healthy, hasn't put up a season of less than 47 points since 2001-2002. Every year this guy is producing. He's not at his peak where he put up a 100-point season. This was like 4 or 5 years ago, but he's still a much better player than Boland and would look real good on this team. He's had 5 70-plus point seasons, which is pretty good.
Oh yeah,
that is elite.
That's legit. I'll take it.
Not only is he a scorer and he's a veteran. He's 6 years older than Boland, so of course that's like a downside.
Yeah.
But
apparently not to Jaromir Jagr.
Yeah, right. Maybe he'll play till he's 41. But LeCavalier is 6'4". Boland's only 6 foot, so that'll add a little bit of height to this team who needs some bigger guys.
Yep.
So that's good.
And it looks like in a horse race at Belmont. Now listen to this: a jockey fell off his horse in the beginning of the race, and the horse went on to win. What does it say about jockeys?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I saw that on Deadspin. You see the video; they have video of it, and the jockey falls off his horse like right out of the gate. Like the horse doesn't even take a full step, and the guy is just off. I don't know what happened there, and then the horse continues to run, and the guys who are announcing it call the horse like the riderless horse or something, and the whole time they're like saying all the weird horse names that they got, and then every once in a while they'll cut in riderless horse on the left, coming up strong, and then all of a sudden he wins the race. And what is the owner thinking of the horse?
What? I mean,
why does he have this jockey if he doesn't even need it?
I mean, isn't it straight? Don't they just run straight?
No, it's a big oval.
Oh, well, I mean, they know their way around it, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much keeping up with their buddies, the other horses. They're like, hey, guys, what's going on? We going this way? All right, cool. And they run in the circle. But, yeah, you think, like, they would need the whipping and all the kicking and the motivation and all that, but
they
no.
don't, apparently.
This horse was just cruising.
Apparently that horse is
just
good on
They're
his own.
just used to having him there, and they just, they don't need him anymore.
Right, that's my point. You just strap a big, like, 40-pound dummy to its back and just have him run.
Just 40 pounds.
You won't have to pay your jockey anymore. You see how small jockeys are? I'd say 40
I
pounds.
don't think they're 40 pounds.
All right, maybe 80 pounds soaking wet. But, yeah, the horse technically does not get the jockey and the horse do not technically get the victory because it's a disqualification. But unofficially, that horse was the fastest horse out there, which is kind of a joke.
Also probably one of the smartest.
Yeah. So that's kind of funny. Funny story from Deadspin. So you got any other stories, or is that it for headlines?
Looks like that's it for headlines.
All right, you've been listening to the Sports Jam with interns Joe Rourke, Mike Zajac up front, Sam Sapita. Remember, if you ever want to call into our show, the number is 845-1100. And just so you guys know, there's a live remote coming up on Saturday, June 29th from noon to 2 at Crazy Kaplan's Fireworks, Klein Avenue location in Hammond. So make sure you come out. That should be a good time. They had a live remote at Alsip. I think it was last weekend or maybe a couple weekends ago. But, yeah, those are always a good time. So Crazy Kaplan's Fireworks, Saturday, June 29th from noon to 2, Klein Avenue location in Hammond. Make sure you check that out. All right, that is going to do it for the Sports Jam. You are listening to WJOB AM 1230.
When you're in the little city by the lake, stop by the Diamond in the Rough, a center lounge and restaurant located at 1312 119th Street in Whiting. Center Lounge is open daily 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. You want specials? How about Taco Tuesdays, wings on Wednesdays, 35 cents a piece, and a full salad bar on Friday Fish Day? You want more specials? Give Center Lounge a call at